Alright everybody, we're here with another video. Today we're going to talk about Minotaurs. The new expansion hit yesterday and it gave Minotaurs a huge boost. So I've got three different builds here. We're going to talk a little bit about them. So here we go. This is my first shot, just straight up sort of aggressive Minotaurs, playing Dark Return just to sort of get some of the benefit off of, if you've got an already buffed unit. Plus, once a Tavrod or even things like Auric Interrogator come down and are active, they get killed very quickly, so it's hard to keep sort of the important units on the board. We've got a Minotaur Oathkeeper. I just love this card. It's just such a great one drop. It attacks for 2 on turn 2, and later in the game all your other units get bigger that you can attack with, so I just like it a lot. Auric Bully seems good in any Minotaur or weapon focused deck, so it's an auto include here. Auric Vigilante. I just wanted to see if this could do work. If it gets drawn off of Tavrod, then it's like a 6/1 with Revenge. So I just thought it would try it out and see if it was any good. Auric Interrogator is an amazing card, and I expected to see lots of ladder play, even if it doesn't end up in a Minotaur specific deck. It's just very powerful. As soon as this gets 1 more power, you start drawing a card every turn at the low cost of 1 life. So, wonderful card. Excited to have it into the card pool. We've also got 4 Copperhall Bailiff. It's a Minotaur, has a Warcry, makes your enemies smaller. Seems like an auto include. 4 Slay, because it's a great removal spell in these colors. I went with some Valkyrie Enforcer just because Silence seems like a necessary effect in the current meta. So even though it's not a Minotaur and it doesn't really benefit from our other cards besides maybe weapons, it's in here. Copperhall Paladin, 3/4 lifesteal for 4 that gets a bonus when you play a weapon on it. It's a fine 4-drop. Dueling Pistols. This is interesting. You put this on like an Auric Bully, hopefully kill a unit or shrink it down so they can't block, and then it gives the unit quick draw as well. Seems pretty powerful and worth trying out. Relentless Gorehorn, obviously included in Minotaur decks, gives all your other Minotaurs +2 power, and it has Revenge. And then the sort of the big daddy of all, the new Tavrod Auric Broker. This card is insane. It's a 5-mana 5/7 with Endurance, and then when you attack, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and you can grab a Minotaur and a weapon from the top, and then you give them not only that, but then you also give them +5 power, and then you discard the rest. So the rest is sort of basic power, running 29 power. Yeah, because we want to be able to get to our 5-drops. So this was where I started, and it was pretty successful. You had about like a 50% win rate, and but I want to see what else we could do. So from there, we moved to Reanimutor, which I realize now that I totally missed out by not calling it Reanimutor, like a Minotaur. But anyway, this one is playing a little bit more of a late game. We've got 3 Vara Fate Touched. We've got some Grinva to sort of finish off the game, and we've got our Tavrod, which is going to fill our graveyard and dig us to other things. We've got Relentless Gorehorn, again, because it's a Minotaur deck, and this time the weapon layout is just a Auric Runehammer and a Lethari Falchion. Runehammer is amazing with Tavrod. You can kill basically anything, and then Lethari Falchion helps us, stay alive a little bit in the late game. We've got 4 Dark Return, 4 Seek Power, 4 Auric Bully, 4 Sporefolk, because we do need to fill our graveyard. Auric Interrogator as a 4 of, and we added Scheme, because I found like a lot of the times we were just sort of dirtling around waiting to draw into one of our combo pieces essentially. So Scheme just sort of helps us find those pieces and makes the games run a little bit smoother. And then again 4 of Slay, and this deck is a lot of fun. It takes a little bit to go off, but it's pretty great. I would recommend playing this. It's if you enjoy the Reanimator archetype, this is an interesting take on it. And then lastly, as I was playing the Reanimator, I sort of discovered that Tavrod makes enormously powerful units, but they're sort of weak in that they don't get their toughness buffed either. So I thought, well, does Tavrod by itself make Shard of the Spire playable? Because what's more fun than playing an 8/3 Minotaur when you can play an 8/8 Minotaur? So I don't think Shard is a very good card. I would typically not recommend playing it, especially not in like a limited format. But I think it's worth exploring to see if it's worth it. Does Tavrod this 2-card combo worth including Shard of the Spire in your deck? When if you draw a second Shard of the Spire, it's never good unless they have relic removal. So is it worth including as a 4-of? Should it just be like a 1-of all the time? Or should it never be included? That's what we're trying to find out. Or is it solely just like a win more card? Does it work? But were you already winning anyway if you could swing with Tavrod a few times? So, all right. Well, those are the three decks. We got Minotaurs, Randomuter, and then just straight Minotaurs. So let's get to the games.